Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here. Don't forget to subscribe. And today, we actually have to talk about one of the last bastions of privacy that we have in the world, and that is Switzerland. If you didn't know, Switzerland has some of the most stringent privacy laws basically on the planet. And by virtue of that, they have a cottage tech industry that really caters to the actual privacy of users. And quite frankly, when it comes to privacy worldwide, we're losing the war. Facebook, Google, Twitter, TikTok, take your pick. They're all data mining us to the nth degree. And so Switzerland and the companies that basically shelter in Switzerland are some of the few remaining ones that we can use and really remain private. And that's changing. Now, Chiara Castro of TechRadar had a really good write-up on this, and this is deeply concerning because Switzerland is considering amending its surveillance law to expand into new types of monitoring and data collection. Now, these changes basically are going to put your anonymity, secure encryption, as well as other things at risk and would widen the net of impacted service providers. So we're talking virtual private networks, messaging apps, social networks, all that kind of stuff. And essentially, here we go. Now, authorities in Switzerland, their argument behind the need for accessing more data is essentially, and it always has been the same, catching criminals and improving security. That is the call of every government. We must weaken encryption or offer backdoors or whatever it is so that we can catch the child predators, we can catch the criminals. And yeah, I mean, nobody wants child predators to go free or criminals to go free. But we also can't make laws to the lowest common denominator because 99.999% of us aren't committing crimes. We're not predators. We just want to go about our daily lives. And so here we go. Now, the amendment that is being proposed in Switzerland aims to expand the number of service providers targeted to include so-called derived service providers. Now, that categorization would basically include any online service with a turnover of $100 million or 5,000 active users. And so in the official announcement, and I quote, 3 types of information and 2 types of monitoring are also being created as a result of this revision. Now, to put it another way, secure and private platforms in Switzerland, such as VPN providers, would be forced to modify how they handle their encryption technology and their privacy policies around securing the anonymity of their users, aka you and me, that would be buying those privacy-based applications or platforms. Now, considering the pushback against encryption backdoors, Switzerland is taking a different approach. Now, beyond encryption, there is a mandatory identification provision, which obviously is very concerning to the privacy industry in Switzerland right now. And understand that secure providers like VPN providers like NimVPN, Viper VPN, and others would lose their sterling reputations for privacy. Like, why would I use Viper VPN or NimVPN VPN essentially if I'm going to be data mined? Maybe not as bad as a Chinese one, but now we're potentially getting into it. So would major privacy platforms like Proton. Proton, you can get mail, calendar, storage, basically VPN options from Proton as well. They're seen as super private and secure around the world. Legitimately, people use it. I have a Proton mail account. Criminals use it too. We'll be honest here, but we have privacy. We have anonymity. We're not letting the government just do law enforcement's job for it. They should investigate, not have these blanket warrants we've seen through Google and others, or have the ability to break my encryption if I'm caught up in something and I'm clearly not a criminal. So this is a huge problem. Not to mention like the secure messaging apps. Threema, which is a major competitor to Signal, which is also known and secure. I love me some Signal, but I also love me some Threema. They would also feel this effect, not to mention any other corporation that is sheltering essentially in Switzerland, offering secure and private systems for access. And for the record, this also isn't the first time Swiss privacy has been threatened. I reported on this a few years back that the Swiss amended their privacy laws to allow foreign court order requests for information. So if, let's say, a criminal here in the United States or Canada or Europe or Australia or whatever was suspected to have let's say a Proton Mail account where they were doing nefarious business, you could get an Australian court order, a U.S. court order, whatever, and then present it to the Swiss authorities, which would then basically turn around and Proton Mail would have to give essentially what Proton Mail knows about that. Maybe it's metadata, maybe it's the whole thing. Now, Proton Mail and all of the others say, well, we don't have access. It's truly end-to-end. And so because we don't have the encryption keys to the accounts, we can't break them. but we can show you where traffic is going. And that is really the crux of this position as well, because the Swiss are saying we don't necessarily need to read the message, but if we know that it originated from point A and it went to point B, that's still a lot of information to have, because you can backtrack it then to an ISP who can then tag that IP address to the phone or the computer or the home router or whatever that owns that. Like, there's a lot of different things that you can essentially backdoor here without reading the message. So I think this is not a good thing in the long run. You know, I'm a privacy advocate. I've always basically am advocating for you and my privacy around the world. I don't care where you're a citizen of or who you are. We all deserve privacy. And I think this is a step in the wrong direction. So is right now open to consultation periods in Switzerland. I'm not a Swiss citizen, but if you're in Switzerland, please go talk to your member of parliament and just really ring that bell. Make sure they understand this is not the way Switzerland should be going, because quite frankly, the rest of the world should be as private as Switzerland and moving towards more privacy as fast as we can. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP, where you're not private, nor is your data, and you can watch me on the unprivate YouTube, or you can possibly email me on the very private, for now, Proton Mail, but I'm also on Blue Sky and Mastodon, and as always, stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private, secure, and informed. Take care.